The plot summary to Death on the Nile by Agatha Christie. Jacqueline de Belford asked her close friend, wealthy heiress Lynette Ridgway, to hire her unemployed fiancé Simon Doyle. Jackie is initially pleased when Lynette agrees, but Lynette and Simon soon start a whirlwind affair and end up marrying. While honeymooning in Egypt, they are continually hounded by the jilted Jackie. In an attempt to get away, the Doyles pretend to go to Cairo railway station before backtracking to board a Nile paddle steamer, the SS Karnak. During an onshore excursion to the nearby temple of Karnak, a large stone is pushed off a pillar and narrowly misses the Doyles. They are shocked when Jackie joins the cruise, having ignored Detective Hercule Poirot's warning to stay away. She also reveals that she carries a small automatic pistol in her handbag and is a crack shot. That night, Jackie confronts Simon in a drunken rage and shoots him in the leg. The next morning, Lynette is found dead from a gunshot wound to the head. A J written in blood on the walls above her bed implicates Jackie, but she has a solid alibi as Mrs. Bowers sedated her with a morphine and stayed the night with her. Poirot and his friends Colonel Race investigate the murder. However, they soon discover that a lot of people wanted her dead. The motives for wanting her dead include numerous passengers, such as Louise Bourget, Lynette's maid, who was bitter due to the mistress' refusal to grant her a promised dowry. Andrew Pennington, Lynette's American trustee, was anxious to prevent her from discovering that he embezzled from her. Mrs. Van Schuyler, an elderly American socialite suffering from kleptomania, displayed a great interest in Lynette's pearl necklace. Mrs. Van Schuyler's nurse, Miss Bowers, blamed Lynette's father for financially ruining her own father. Miss Ottenborn, a romance novelist, was being sued for libel for a similarity between Lynette and one of her other characters. Mrs. Ottenborn's daughter Rosiella was anxious to protect her mother from financial ruin. Jim Ferguson, an outspoken communist, resented Lynette's wealth. Dr. Ludwig Bessner, a Swiss psychiatrist, faced exposure by Lynette's concerning his unorthodox methods affecting Lynette's past friends. Soon after, a small bundle is dredged from the Nile. The missing pistol is wrapped in Mrs. Schuyler's stole, which has a small bullet hole in it. There are also a blood-stained handkerchief and a marble ashtray used as a weight. When Lynette's pearls are missing, Mrs. Van Schuyler denies taking them. Soon after, the necklace is found on Lynette's body, so Poirot deduces Mrs. Van Schuyler had returned them. While Poirot and Race conduct their investigation, Louise Bourget is murdered. Her throat has been cut with one of Dr. Bessner's scalpels, and a fragment of a banknote is found in her hand. Poirot deduces she saw the murder coming out of Lynette's cabin and attempted to extort money for her silent. Simone Otterburn claims to have seen Louise's murderer and is about to tell Poirot and Race when she is shot through the head via an open cabin door with Pennington's revolver, which is too large to have been used on Lynette. Poirot gathers everyone in the saloon and reveals that Simon is responsible for Lynette's murder, with Jackie as his accomplice. She pretended to shoot Simon, drawing attention to herself, after running into Lynette's cabinet and shooting her in the head. Simon shot himself in the leg, using Mrs. Van Schuyler's stool as a silencer, and then replaced the empty cartridges with new ones, should the gun be found. He then wrapped the gun in the stool along with the marble ashtray and the supposed blood-stained handkerchief, and threw the items out of the window into the Nile. Jackie later killed Louise, who was blackmailing Simon because she witnessed him enter Lynette's cabin, then killed Mrs. Utenberg, who saw Jackie exiting Louise's cabin. The plan was that Simon would marry, then kill Lynette, and therefore inherit her money on a later date and marry his old love. When Simon realizes the claims by Poirot, he says that Poirot has no proof of this, but Poirot retorts that the police will simply do a gunshot residue test on both him and Jacqueline to formulate his assessment. Realizing that they are caught, Jackie confesses before both embracing him and Simon, and then Poirot suddenly realizes she has reclaimed her pistol but is unable to prevent her from shooting Simon in the head before killing herself. The passengers depart at the next port while Poirot is congratulated by the rest of the passengers for his outstanding work in solving the murderer. Thank you for listening to Death on a Nile book summary. Please like, share and subscribe.